Have you ever ironed a shirt on the edge of a cliff?
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
To be human is to compete. You see, our ancestors competed against one another to see whose genes could get passed on to the next generation. Generation after generation did this, and so we ended up right here, us, in modern society. It's no longer about survival of the fittest. We just sit around and find ridiculous ways to compete against each other.
Because we need that, man.
Yeah, we gotta have it.
And we gotta keep upping the ante on the ridiculousness. So today we present to you the most ridiculous championships. It's time for People Be Trippin' When They Championshippin'.
I like using championship as a verb.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that.
Rhymes with trippin', shipping.
First up is extreme ironing, a competition to see who the best ironer is.
Like ironing clothes?
Yeah, like don't do this. Don't do it on yourself,
no.
But just to demonstrate. Yes.
That's overly efficient.
This started in 1997 in Leicester, England by a guy named Phil Shaw, AKA Steam.
Ooh,
I guess
steam.
because of the steam in the ironing process.
So he's just ironing like really hard.
Well, no, it's way more complicated than that. So Steam came home from a hard day of work at the knitwear factory. I can relate. He had a big pile of clothes he needed to iron, but he wanted to go rock climbing instead. Oh, what a conundrum. Extreme ironing was born. He combined these two things. You gotta see this to believe it and appreciate it. There they go. These people take their ironing boards out into the wilderness, through the creeks. They jump over ditches.
Oh, look at her.
And look at that! That dude's ironing!
He's in the gap.
Underwater ironing!
Man.
Upside down rock climbing ironing! Back of a, what?
Don't
Back
do
of
that.
What?
That's, no.
Swamp ironing! So extreme!
I love the look on his face.
Side of a sort of a woodsy, cliffy thing. Through the trees, look how extreme that shot is. Wow.
But the things that they're ironing
are clothes.
Look like wrinkle-free shirts.
It's like athletic wear because they're outside, man.
No, but
so yeah, the first.
Do you have to iron athletic wear?
Some people do. The
first on the side of a mountain?
The first extreme ironing championship was held in 2002 in Munich. Now this is not to be confused with the extreme irony championship won by Bill Loser. The winner of that first extreme ironing championship was the German ironist Hot Pants. I figured something out. If you want to be an extreme ironer, you got to have a good ironing nickname. I'm gonna be Steamed Buns.
I'm gonna be Petey Pleety. You know how you gotta get to pleats.
Petey Pleety. Woo, okay, you do that, Link.
All right, I got one for you. It's not that extreme, but it's still very interesting, so go with me here. You've heard the early bird catches the worm, but have you heard of Brits' charming worms?
No, but the Brits are a very charming bunch.
But are the worms charming? That's the question that they seek to answer. Actually, it's not. Welcome to the World Worm Charming Championship in Williston, England. Williston worms are the greatest worms in the world.
Oh, God.
All right, here's how it works. You and a partner, which is called a ghillie, are given a 3x3 meter plot, and that's a British measurement.
Yep.
Actually, it's not.
It's not. They kind of gave us.
I don't know why.
They gave us the foot.
The wrong one.
By the way.
Well, they went to the metric system, 3x3 meters, and 30-minute time limit to try to coax as many worms as possible out of their little plot of land. Let's watch this clip.
Everybody thinks we're mad, and probably we are.
Yeah.
But I don't care, because in a few minutes' time we're going to go berserk here.
Berserk.
We're gonna go berserk for some worms. Look at these people going berserk. Now, you cannot dig holes, but you can dance.
That woman's clogging.
She's river dancing worms up out of the ground. He's pitchforking and...
Oh, what was the baby doing?
Pulling up worms, man. Worms love babies. They try to eat them.
And then what do they do? What are they doing now?
They're counting the worms and awarding the winner.
We got a worm trophy. Wow.
Yay.
They seem so excited.
Williston worms are the greatest worms in the world.
Yeah, say it again. It'll get funny.
Come on. Work with me, Rhett.
So, are these worms just coming up by chance, or are they actually responding to the people? Do you know? I think these people might just...
When you agitate the ground, the worms come up and you win a championship. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Williston worms are the greatest worms in the world. It is funny. It is funny.
When you say it, it feels good.
I got something to wet your whistle. The World Whistling Championship.
Wet your whistling whistle.
This thing has been around since the early 70s in Lewisburg, North Carolina. Never heard of it. How have we never been to this thing? Link, it's in Lewisburg.
I don't go to Lewisburg. People are weird there. They like to whistle.
Lewisburg is just one of those places that there's not a road that goes through it that somewhere on the other side of that is someplace I want to be. It never happened in all my years in North Carolina. Sorry, Lewisburg. Should have known.
Maybe this will change us.
Now, here at the World Whistling Championship, they don't determine the best whistler. They got all kinds of categories. They break this thing down. They got international male and international female. Because women and men whistle totally differently. They got teenage male and female, and they even have a grandchildren category.
Which is everyone who's ever been.
Yeah, is a grandchild. Exactly. Yeah. I think that's
maybe it's just a way to say kids, a hoe flip?
Potentially. I don't know. But I want to show you some footage of the 3-time winner, Gert Chatreau. Sounds like a local Lewisburg boy. I've ever heard a name like that.
Let's see Gert.
Let's see him whistle. Now that music is not coming from his mouth, Link. He is whistling along with the music. Pretty impressive.
That guy's getting a close-up look.
Guy thinks he's at a bird watching convention. Like, what is up? There's no way that auditorium is so big that you. Maybe he's just like zooming right in on the lip.
He wants to see the air coming out of Gert's mouth.
There it is. Yeah, like he's seeing this in his binoculars, just mouth. Now listen.
But the look on his face when it came down says it all. It's like,
he's like, oh, why am I here? Oh, I should be outside. Now,
that was pretty impressive.
Now. I feel like we could make a trip to Lewisburg. Listen, I'm a 3-note guy. I've got. That's all I got. I can't do any. I can play the beginning of Smoke on the Water with my whistle. But you're a pretty good whistler. Yeah, what's your whistle? Show me what you got. I know you're pretty good. You're making some guttural noises. We'll work on it. I'll take you anytime you want to go to the Lewisburg Championship. You can be in the grandchildren category based on what I just saw.
Okay, I got another one for you. In my first year of marriage with my wife, Christy, first years aren't supposed to be great. It was kind of tough. Christy, at one point, threw a phone at me and missed me and left a phone imprint in the sheetrock.
And that was probably a big phone back in those days. I mean, the mobile phone was probably that big. It could have killed you.
Yeah, and it was pretty funny to us after the fact. So we made up, but we never go in that room anymore. But I think I'm going to enter her into
because you don't live in North Carolina anymore.
Mobile phone throwing championship. This thing is in Finland. Started in the year 2000, or as I like to call it, it's the Game of Thrones phones.
Oh, I see what
people are throwing phones. Here's a video. Now there's different categories. You can just throw it normally.
Yep.
Like this guy is. Oh my gosh, that guy almost threw his whole arm off. Or you can do something more creative. You can be judged on creativity.
That spin was completely unnecessary.
And she's doing some sort of yoga thing. I think she's in the grandchildren category.
Give that a 5, yeah.
Gave it a 5. So the good news is you don't have to throw your own phone. The event organizers give you a phone. Something tells you there's lots of Galaxy Note 7s laying around there. So lots of those being thrown.
Well, you should
in the new year.
You should listen. We'll plan a trip. We go back home. We stop by Lewisburg. You whistle, then we go all the way to Finland, and Christy throws the phones. All right, rock, paper, scissors. It may just be a game to you, may just be something you do to figure out who's going to ride shotgun. But in Japan, rock, paper, scissors has gotten extremely serious. Now, they call it jankin over there, and you have to watch this video to appreciate it. And now, many of you, probably most of you saw this video when it went really big a while back, but I know for a fact that, Link, you did not see it. So this is the first time you have seen this. This is rock, paper, scissors in Japan. I will give you some context after you watch the video.
Okay.
Ready?
This is intense.
Oh, you just wait. Yeah! Look! She's a Jankin Queen!
She threw the paper.
Look how it's...
Oh my gosh.
Now,
I've never been moved so emotionally by rock, paper, scissors, but I've never thrown paper. Maybe that's why.
right. Now listen, you may think, okay, is this how they decide on the president in Japan? Because why are people so excited about this? I'm gonna tell you exactly why this was such a big moment.
She wins millions of dollars.
No, there is a Japanese music supergroup known as AKB48. Very specific.
Catchy.
98 of their 139 members, we're really talking a supergroup here, competed to see which one of them, which 7 of them could record the new album. And so they played—
There's like an army of them?
Yes, they played rock, paper, scissors to figure out which 7 would get to do the album. And then the 7 got to compete to figure out who was gonna be the leader of the band. And that was Tanabe Miku, who won and became the leader of the band.
So it's not based on talent at all.
It's based on rock, paper, scissors, man. That's the
takes
best
it-
thing.
that
That's
takes
how
a
I chose my wife.
Special type of talent, yeah.
Yeah, I had 139 girls, and they were just one. And the last part was just like that. It was super intense. No, that's not how I chose my wife.
No.
It didn't have anything to do with rocks, paper, or scissors, baby. You know that. You're watching sometimes, maybe about 1/10 of the time.
In that case, you're probably not watching right now, so thank you for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing.
You know what time it is.
I'm Nicole from Chicago.
I'm Kara from Albuquerque.
But we live in Tokyo.
What?
And it's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
Treat your head like a champion with the Mythical Beanie, available in 2 different colors at rhettlink.com/store.
Store, and it'll flip up and you can still see the logo. Click through to Good Mythical More. We're gonna have the ultimate chips and salsa championship stacking competition.
Don't Google that. Whatever you do, do not Google dog boogers. Don't do it. Don't Google
do it. Don't do it.
Click on the left to watch our show after the show, Good Mythical More.
Click on the right to watch another episode of Good Mythical Morning.
And click the circular channel icon to subscribe.
Thanks for being your mythical best.